everyone, welcome back to the part 2 of what has to be ready buying your first home. This is Lily.
I'm Michelle.
Often I heard people saying that, oh, I want to buy a house, but I don't know where should I buy. That's where your buyer agent can help you a lot, right?
Yes, absolutely. So I know with my first-time home buyers, often what I do, especially for people who are maybe new to Ottawa, I pull different areas to show them where their money's going to go in different parts of Ottawa, and also what they can expect. So I love to look at an overview of the neighborhood and tell them, there's 3 parks within walking distance, 2 shopping malls, a coffee shop, all of that. It kind of helps people sort of imagine themselves in the neighborhood.
So you have to really talk to yourself and see what you really want. If you really want a new build, modern feeling, then you probably gonna not find anything in those well-established neighborhood, right? But if you wanna have mature trees surrounding you, a house, far away from next one, maybe you couldn't find it in New Barhaven area. So that's why you really need to rely on someone who has an intensive knowledge of the neighborhood. Then your buyer agent can guide you through the whole process of selecting neighborhood. So now you have your down payment ready, you have your mortgage ready, you know what you want and what you need, and also you know which areas that you want to choose. So the next phase you have to be ready is knowing the market. It is a buyer's market, it is a seller's market. What choices do I have, right? So right now in Ottawa it's absolutely
a seller's market.
A seller's market. As a buyer's agent, it takes us like on average 5-6 offers.
Yeah.
5-6 offers before we can secure one. So think of like 5-6 offers will take around at least whole month or 2 months to go through. Then by that time it's ready, the house may be appreciated 5% more already. So once you're ready, just contact your buyer agent and start your action as soon as possible. That's the best advice our LilyHu team can give it to you. And then next, Michelle can talk about her strategy of helping her first-time home buyer client winning in this absolutely seller's market.
So there's a few things that we like to do on the LilyHu team. One thing is, when you're working with a buyer's agent like myself, you look for off-market opportunities or things that are coming soon. So you can be first to see that property, first to get your offer in, and maybe scoop it up before 10, 15, 20, 25 people have seen it and want to put offers in as well. That's a huge competitive advantage. Also, don't discount writing a personal letter. When you find your dream home, I can't tell you how many letters I've had agents call me and say, this was the reason they took your offer, they loved your letter. A personal letter, it means a lot to people who have maybe cherished the home for years.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times agents have called me and said, you weren't the highest, but
yeah,
it's within reason. Like if you're top 2 and you had a letter and the people were so attached to the house, it makes a difference. If your number is nowhere close, it's not going to make a difference.
And nowadays the seller had made a lot of money on their house, so sometimes they don't care about that much difference. They want to sell the house to a person that share the same value to them, because the seller may share certain responsibilities for their neighbors, right? They want to find a similar family to them, then they can look good for their neighbors, right?
Absolutely.
So the last thing we can talk about is advantages to have your own buyer agent. That's the key. That's crucial in today's market.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, having your own buyer's agent. First of all, people always ask me, buyer's agents, how do buyer's agents get paid? Buyer's agents are paid for by the seller of the home, and that is put to bed long before you've ever met your buyer's agent. So working with the selling agent does not put you at an advantage. In fact, it puts you at a disadvantage, as the selling agent is there to protect the seller and the best interests of the seller, not yours. Having a buyer's agent is a teammate. It's someone who's going to be with you from the start all the way to closing day. And they are going to protect you and your best interests every single step of the way, okay? 15 years ago, you didn't have a choice but to use a seller's agent, and then our governing board decided, no, buyers have the right to representation and protection as well.
Of course.
And that's how buyer's agents were born.
I think last year, the BC government, the BC real estate government has issued a ban on the seller's agent representing both party in a deal, because it's most of the time create a lot of conflict of interest and also unclarities of what's your job and what I should be expected from you as my agent, because you're being hired to represent both. So same thing for the lawyers. You cannot have plaintiff, right?
Yeah. Well, just imagine yourself getting divorced. Would you want your divorce lawyer to represent you and your husband?
Absolutely not. I hire my own. And also, you know what? Your buyer agent is free. The seller's agent, when she or he listed the house, they already have a percentage of commission rearranged with the seller. So either you go find your own buyer agent, he or she get a share, or the listing agent get it all. So there is no extra cost on buyer's hand to hire your own buyer's agent. Oh, and also when you hire your agent, hire a team like us. We have 5 buyer agents and 3 assistants to help you all the time, from the beginning to the end.
And so I'm glad you said hire us. So the advantage to hiring a team is, like you said, if we're in a situation where you had the listing, Lily,
Yes.
then I take over the buyer, or
Yes.
vice versa.
Yes.
And then there's never a conflict of interest.
No.
Because it's an arm's length transaction. There's a wall between us and things are not discussed.
We're going to make sure that each of our clients' best interested are protected. Okay, so that's all for today's show. If you still have questions, feel free to reach us from the following method.